This video is about solving, understanding and graphing quadratic equations. It includes an activity to introduce parabolas to young learners. Subscribe, comment and ding the notification bell to make sure you don't miss our latest videos. It's about graphing quadratic equations, which sounds terribly complicated. But guess what? Activity for all. Throw a ball. Now, how complicated is that? How many of us can throw a ball? Or, in fact, it doesn't even have to be a ball. It could be a pen. Whoops. And if you can record, if you can, for older learners, they can, if they've got a phone, record the path. And if it's a younger learner, you can film it, film the path. So you want to film it from the side and get the learner to throw anything in the air safely, obviously, a ball, and then see if they can draw, first of all, what they think the path is going to look like, and then watch the video and draw what it actually did. Best representation of, depending on their age, it'll be more or less accurate. Some people are more observant than others, but it's all about observing the ball. What shape is the path in the air? You throw the ball and the learner watches the path, and then kick a ball, throw it and now kick it, watch that. Then you can have a discussion about what else has the same path. Now it's got a name, it's called a parabola, and no matter how old your learner is, whether they're 18 or 4, if they can say Tyrannosaurus Rex, they can most certainly say parabola. Parabola is the path that any item thrown on our planet takes. It'll be a parabolic path. Now, what else might have a parabolic path? Well, it doesn't actually matter if it's shot out. It could be shot out upwards, it could be shot out sideways. So upwards, what things do we shoot out upwards? Missiles. They could be missiles in sports. The high jumper that goes up to the top, and as the moment they release the stick that they're jumping on, they are on a parabolic path. The long jumper, even though it looks as though they're going sideways, once they leave the ground, their force is taking them up in the air, but their path is a long path, but it's still a parabolic path. What about Nerf guns? Nerf guns, they'll follow a parabolic path. Bow and arrow, a golf ball, of course. And then if you're like me and you let go of the golf club at the same time as hitting the golf ball, the golf club goes on a parabolic path as well. Tennis, ping pong, basketball, the other graph that we see up there, those are parabolic graphs. Well, what's the connection? You at some point have to learn how to plot a quadratic equation and interpret a quadratic equation, and there's a lot more about that in the teacher guide, which is also her learning guide on the Aiming High website, and the link is up there. If you want to understand them better, you've got a learner who needs to understand them better. You see this activity here, this square. That square represents the quadratic equation that describes a parabola. How could it possibly be? Was it a square made up of 2 squares and 2 rectangles? How can that be? Well, it is. And if you go to the Aiming High website and download that activity, it's all free. There's also a worksheet to go with it. So you can actually, if you want to, cut them out so you can actually really see how the equation maps out to the square that's on there. It's going to aid understanding, and it's going to aid remembering. It's going to make a lot more sense once you've done this activity. And as for the young learners, just play with the sense of parabolas. See how many different parabolas you can make for the young learners. This activity is called graphing quadratic equations. There are many more engaging and exciting activities with documents and resources that are free to download for schools and home learning from the Aiming High website and app. Follow the links in the description. Please also support AIMSEC through the GoFundMe link given. Subscribe, comment and ding the notification bell to make sure you don't miss our latest videos.